Hi everyone, it's Valerie from Earthrella Soap and Candle Company. Today I am making a double batch of my cotton candy soap. I'm going to be doing a double batch hopefully from now on with all of my soaps because I'm having a hard time keeping them in stock when I only make one loaf at a time. So I'm going to double my loaves hopefully from this point forward. So today I am making my cotton candy soap. The fragrance I'm using today is Fluffy Pink Candy by Nature's Garden. It has that like a cotton candy mixed with some other kinds of like hard candy. It's kind of a mixture, but it really works well with the cotton candy theme soap that I'm going to be making. So that's the fragrance I'm going to be using. It does have 2% vanillin in it, so I'm going to be adding some of my vanilla color stabilizer. And I add this in with my fragrance before I put it in with my soap. This keeps my soap from turning brown. This fragrance oil is known for turning your soap into like a dark tan. So I don't want it to be tan. It's going to be 3 separate layers. It's going to be blue, pink, and purple. And I don't want it to turn tan or any funky colors. So I'm going to be adding a vanilla stabilizer to each layer that I pour. So the first thing I have to do is I have all of my oils for my soap in this container, and then I have another container over there, and it has my oils for just the frosting. So this is just for my soap layers, and this is for both soaps. So what I have to, and here's my, this is my lye water for the soaps. So what I'm going to do is measure out for each, so this is for this is for 2 loaves, and I need 3 layers in each loaf. So this actually has to be split up 6 ways. So I'm going to be measuring it out on my scale here. I'm going to weigh out my oils and then my lye water and mix each layer separately for each loaf. It's kind of confusing to explain, but it'll work. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my container here. I'm going to grab one of these and put it on my scale and just weigh out what I need for the first layer in my first loaf. Make sure all my oils get really mixed. Alright, so this is my first layer of just the one loaf. And I'm going to repeat this process for all 6 layers in both, combined between both loaves. So in this container I have my fragrance oil mixed with my vanilla stabilizer for this layer. I'm going to pour that in. And for this layer, I'm going to be making it blue. So I need to open up this container. There we go. So I'll show you the color I'm using first. I'm using the Zippy Blue Pigment, and this is by Brambleberry. And I picked this blue because it has that perfect shade for cotton candy. It's not like a really dark blue. I think it'll be perfect. It's kind of like the same color as my gloves, actually. So I'm just going to use a little bit of this. I'm going to put in, this is 1 teaspoon. So I'm putting in 1 teaspoon of the blue. I'll mix that up. Alright, so I'm going to grab my first mold here. Alright, so I have my first mold, and I'm going to pour this into the bottom of this mold. This is going to be my first layer. fragrance oil smells so good. It's so sweet. Alright, I'm going to set that one aside. And then I'm going to do the same for the bottom blue layer of this mold. So I'm going to measure out, I'm going to use the same container. So I'm using the same color. I'm going to weigh out my oils and then my lye water. Okay, so the first layer is now poured in both of my molds. I'm just going to let them set up for a while. Not very long, maybe 10-15 minutes. I think it should work after 10-15 minutes. They should be set up enough where I can continue on with the middle layer. So I'm just going to let these set for a few minutes and I'll be back. Okay, so while my first layer was setting up, I decided to go ahead and split my batches up with my oils and then my lye water, so I can just pour them in and mix them up really quickly without having to measure them out between each layer. So I'm going to set these aside. And I'm going to start with this one. So this is going to be my next layer, the middle layer in each of my loaves. And the middle layer is going to be pink. The pink I'm using is one of my favorite pinks because it's just such a pretty pink. This one's called Sexy Pink Slippers Mica. You can tell I use this one a lot. So I'm going to put in, well, after I mix in my oil and my lye water, I'm going to add in 1 teaspoon of my mica colorant. Alright, so now I'm going to let these sit for a few minutes. These are going to have to sit a little bit longer than the blue layer did because my pink was it was much more fluid than my blue was when I poured it. So my blue didn't take long to set up, but this is really fluid, so this is going to take a little bit longer. So probably 15-20 minutes, maybe even a little bit more, I'm not sure, but I will be back as soon as my pink layers are set. Okay, so my pink layers are completely set up now. It has been quite a while. It's probably been about 45 minutes because I was in the other room making candles while I was waiting for this to set up. It's been a busy day. So I am now going to pour my last layer, and this one's going to be purple. The purple fragrance that I'm using, or the purple colorant that I'm using is Purple Vibrance by Nurture Soap. Now this is a beautiful, beautiful purple color, but it's kind of dark. So what I'm going to do is I have some water here mixed with some titanium dioxide. So once I put my purple colorant in, I'm going to add a little bit of my mixture of my titanium dioxide. That way it'll mute it a little bit. I want it more of a pastel purple. I don't want it like a deep purple. So I'm going to add that after I put in my purple colorant. But right now I'm going to put in my lye water solution and give these a mix. I don't know what just happened, but my camera just told me that it stopped recording. So I don't know where it left off, but what I was saying is I'm going to let these 2 loaves set up. While they're setting up, I'm going to get my frosting ready. I already have my oils, my lye water. I have this ready right now, so I'm going to start mixing this up and getting my frosting ready. And then by the time my frosting has set up, this should be plenty set up so I can start piping my frosting. Okay, so my soaps have set up, my frosting is set up, and I have the frosting in my piping bag, and I'm just going to start piping the white frosting on top of my soaps. Alright, now that my frosting's all piped, I have some Epsom salts that are dusted in the same 3 colors that I had inside of the soap. So I'm going to sprinkle these 3 colors on top of the soap to make it look like sugar. Alright, that is a wrap. I am done with these soaps. I think they turned out really nice so far. I love how they look on top. So I'm going to let these sit until tomorrow, about 18 to 24 hours, and then I will cut them and we'll see how it looks on the inside. Okay, so it's been around 22 hours since I finished piping the frosting on this soap. So I'm going to unmold this and cut it, and we'll see what it looks like on the inside. Okay, so I have my favorite cutter here. This is my 18 bar multi-cutter that I purchased from Nurture Soap a few months ago, and I have named her Penelope. So I'm going to have Penelope cut my soaps for me. So here's you can see the colors, how they turned out. Can you see that? There you go. So you can see the blue, the pink, the purple. So it looks like they're going to be straight layers, which is a good thing. I'm going to set it on its side because I have these Epsom salts on top, and if I have it facing up, if I have my frosting on the top, it's going to drag the Epsom salts through my soap, and I don't want drag marks. So that looks pretty good. And there you go. This is my cotton candy soap. I do wish, the one thing I had changed, I wish I had put some titanium dioxide in the blue so it was more of a pastel blue. It did darken quite a bit more than I thought it would. So the next time I make this, I'll make sure I add some titanium dioxide in my blue. But otherwise, I think it came out really nice. You see the top? The white frosting with the Epsom salts on top really kind of pulls it all together. So gonna grab the other one. Here's my second one. Oops. So really happy with how these turned out. Definitely has that that cotton candy vibe to it. I think they turned out really pretty. So these will go on the curing rack for the next 4 to 6 weeks. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching.